Movie Bunch, and welcome back to another vlog. Actually, this is more of a vlog slash movie review combo. We are actually on our way to the theater to see Uncharted. We've been looking forward to this film. We know that this is a very popular game franchise. This stars Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, and we're about to see how it all plays out for young Nathan Drake. So with movies like Uncharted, I feel like it's always better to see it in theaters, and we want to thank Cinemark so much for helping us do just that. But it's not just a regular see it in theaters. We are doing a private watch party with some of our closest friends, so it's just our own theater, and you guys can do that too through Cinemark. Basically, you get the entire auditorium to yourself. You can have up to 30 people, and Cinemark makes it really easy to book a private watch party. You can do it through their website, or you can do it through their app, or I've made it even easier for you. You can actually just check out the link that is in the description of this video and start booking your own private watch party. I can't wait to watch this movie, so let's go to the theater. And we are here at Cinemark. We're so excited. We're just waiting for our friends, and then we're gonna go ahead and check into the theater. So we just got out of the movie. You guys stay tuned for our non-spoiler review, which is going to be in this video. But thank you so much to Cinemark for helping us host our own private watch party, and we will see you guys in the review. And welcome back, and welcome to our non-spoiler review of Uncharted. So this film stars Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Sophia Ali, Tati Gabrielle, and Antonio Banderas. And while this is based on the popular game Uncharted, we do see a young Nathan Drake in this film, as opposed to the normal version.
You see the Tom Holland aged Nathan Drake, because yes, honestly, that is a joke that they do make throughout the entire movie.
Hey kid, a little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
They really drive that in, not to the point where I'm annoyed by it.
Yeah. Not
to the point, but kind of close. So overall, thoughts on the film. I think I kind of tempered my expectation for it. Just because, one, we all know what they say about video game movies.
Yep.
And two, while I thoroughly enjoy Tom Holland and his acting, and I think he's so talented, I felt that I couldn't really see him disappear into the role of a young Nathan Drake, even though he was in the costume, he was doing the stunts and everything. I really saw Tom Holland. So I kind of, tempered my expectation a little bit. And honestly, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a fun time. Treasure hunting, the globe-trotting, all that stuff, and just a fun adventure, and I really enjoyed it more than I expected to.
Yeah, I have to agree with you too. I was kind of going in there going, okay, it's gonna be another video game movie. They're gonna have probably terrible lines. They're gonna completely, make the storyline very convoluted, because they do that in so many video game movies, and it's just gonna be all over the place. They kept it pretty simple, and they started it off with some really good action. They kept it going. They made it interesting and intriguing. They made the treasure hunt really fun. Mm-hmm. And I have to admit, the sets and locations and the places where they went into to do their treasure hunting was very well. They did great set decorating, and it looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little cheesy in some parts, and there's some parts that you're kind of like a little over the top, where they jumped the shark a little bit. But honestly, still pretty fun. I still enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I would say I would put it on the like an upper echelon of the video game movies that we've gotten. I think this is an actually pretty okay adaptation. Granted, we're saying this from, while we do, know the character Nathan Drake and we know the game Uncharted and how popular it is, we haven't thoroughly played through all the different, versions of them.
True.
So just kind of that is the perspective you are getting from the both of us in this review. I understand that they are pulling some points from various games, I believe, like the cargo, in the air scene.
Yeah.
That's from one of the games. I don't want to say too much. This is a spoiler review.
Very good
so
point.
I almost said something, but just in case for the people who haven't played the game, I'm like, yeah. So and talking to a couple of friends that came with us to our private watch party who have played the games, they said that they felt that there were enough nods to the various versions of the game, specifically one moment, which again, if you've seen the movie by now, you will know which part we're talking about. But if you haven't seen the movie and you play the games, that's something to look forward to. I think it's pretty hard to miss. So you will know it when you see it. Overall, I think this movie worked, and I think partially, a lot of it, honestly, probably has to do with how charismatic and talented an actor Tom Holland is.
And Mark Wahlberg.
And Mark Wahlberg
he did a
Sully.
good job as playing Sully. I thought he was fun, he was interesting, and he also grew as a character.
Yes.
And the fact that they also took this movie and made it before any of the other games, it made it so they could do nods to those games, but not have to follow a direct storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is successful, then they can start doing, okay, let's do closer adaptations to the video games.
Yes.
And honestly, I really wouldn't mind seeing this movie evolve into Uncharted 2, Uncharted, so on and so forth, kind of a thing, to see if they could make an Uncharted franchise.
Yeah, honestly, if this movie does well enough to warrant a sequel, I really wouldn't mind seeing Tom Holland grow with the movie. And kind of like I said in the beginning of this review, I had a hard time, when we were watching the trailer, seeing Tom Holland not as Nathan Drake, but just as Tom Holland. But during the movie, there were certain parts where I did see him kind of transform into Nathan Drake, and then like in the next thing it would be like, oh, it's Tom Holland again. But I did see it here and there, and I enjoyed being able to see that a little bit, because that makes me think that, as Tom Holland, if he ages, because I feel like
I don't think he ever will.
He's just so young, which is great. It's a good thing, honestly.
He's starting to really bulk up.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some shirtless shots in this, and I'm like, holy cow, he's getting bulky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that might make him a little bit more less boyish kind of a thing. But there were a couple moments that I'm like, that sounded like Spider-Man.
And with that said, that is our review, and here is our rating for the film. If you are curious about the movie couple rating, it is listed in the video description below. And my rating for this film is matinee. I think it's a fun watch. I think the action pieces are really fantastic. I think Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg make a really fantastic duo. They're fun to watch on screen. They're back and forth. And I think whether you're a fan of Uncharted or not, I think it is worth checking out.
I am exactly the same. This is definitely a matinee. It's a lot of fun. It's good to see on the big screen because there's a lot of really good, beautiful shots. The action scenes are really fun to see on the big screen. So it's definitely worth to see at a matinee.
Yes, I am glad we got to see this on the big screen. I believe it was also shot specifically for IMAX. So if you do have an IMAX theater around you, go ahead and go out to the theater and enjoy the action on that, because there's a few shots where you're like, whoa, this is definitely made for the big screen. And finally, we would like to thank Cinemark for helping us host our very own private watch party for some of our friends. And if you would like to know more detail on how to host your own private watch party, go ahead and go to Cinemark's website, or you can book it through their app. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you on our next review.